Madison, Wisconsin. Make some noise, baby. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you so much. How we feeling? We feeling good? We drinking? Yeah, a couple of maybe later a little After that, maybe a little. No? All right, no heroin. Fair enough. Knew there was a line somewhere. Just wanted to find it. Gang, it's great to be here. I'm back in jeans, baby. Yeah. I'm back in jeans. I got no circulation below my waist and I can't feel my legs. But I'm back in jeans. I was walking through the airport yesterday like I had an 8-ball up my ass, just like, breaking them in. I've been trying to lose weight. I'm taking it pretty seriously. I just switched over to Sprite. See how that goes for a couple of weeks. I did try keto for a minute. You guys ever do keto? The diet where you just eat pork chops? You guys Listen, I don't know much, but I know a brick of cream cheese isn't a healthy alternative. I did keto. I put on 35 pounds. I was on it for 4 hours. I got to do something, though. It's starting to get difficult for me to fly. Well, difficult for me and the poor son of a bitch sitting next to me. It's getting difficult for us to fly. And don't feel bad. Don't think fat people don't know. We see you looking at us when we get on the airplane. Yeah, we see your heads popping to the aisle like, where the fuck is he going? Please don't be 29B. Come on, man. As I'm walking sideways through first class. My stomach just rubbing on some finance bro's head. Sorry about that, Taylor. My bad, dude. I'll be back to take a dump in about 20 minutes. You might want to clear on out of here. Also, I noticed, too, people were starting to treat me different the fatter that I got. I had something real weird happen last week. I used to get my hair cut at this barber shop next to my old apartment, but we moved like 6 months ago, but I had to be back in the neighborhood last week, and I walked by the barber shop, and I wasn't even close with the barber, but he comes running out of the shop, and he's like, hey, man, where you been? And I'm like, oh, we moved. And he's like, you moved? Oh, I didn't even think of that. You moved. Whew. You moved. And in my head, I'm like, oh, this guy thought I died. This guy for sure thought I died. And then he walked back into the shop to the other barbers and was like, he moved! And then I heard 8 barbers in unison go, I moved! The only thing that has saved me has been the Big and Tall store. I love the Big and Tall store. But I'm going to tell you this, you go in there, you see a lot of big. You don't see a lot of tall. You see a lot of big. But at a regular department store, I'm a 5X. Like, that's embarrassing. At the Big and Tall store, I'm a junior petite small. They got everything in my size. I feel like a swimsuit model walking around this place. And it's great. All the salespeople, they're all certified paramedics. Yeah, they got defibrillators in every aisle. And I'll be honest with you, the wings are pretty good. They're not bad. This is blue cheese. This is fantastic. My doctor's got me on Lipitor. I'm taking Lipitor. Anybody else? Yeah, one guy. All right, that's cool. That's the fattest crowd work you're ever going to see in your life right there. Where are my pacemakers at? Make some noise, huh? Just one guy in the back like... No, I'm not actually taking Lipitor. I'm taking the generic version of Lipitor. Yeah, I'm an American, goddammit. That's how we roll. But isn't it funny, as Americans, there's so many things that we have to have the name brand for? Like, we have to have Apple, we have to have Nike, we have to have Adidas. But when it comes to the liver cancer medicine, we're like, just give me the cheap shit. And hurry it up. I got ice cream in the car, all right? My chubby hubby's melting. Me and my girlfriend have been talking about having kids, which I did always want to become a dad. I always saw myself becoming a dad, but I messed up, man. I waited too long, and I became an uncle first. Now I don't want to have kids anymore. Yeah, when you're an aunt or an uncle and you don't have kids of your own, that's a very sobering preview of what your parenthood experience is probably going to be like. Like, genetically, you're in that kid somewhere. There's a half of a half of a half of a half of you in that child. And don't get me wrong, I have a 3-year-old niece who I love, but I got this 6-year-old nephew. Biggest dickhead I've ever met. Like, if I could fight this guy... And what drives me crazy about little kids these days is that they have access to so much information. That little kids now, they act like nothing existed before they were alive. Like, my nephew says things to me like it's the first time anyone has ever said it. Like, he's dropping knowledge on me. He's straightening me out. The other day I was with him, he gets right in my face and he goes, "Uncle Hank, I bet you didn't know that Darth Vader's actually Luke Skywalker's dad." Like, I bet you didn't know that your mom got arrested at spring break in 1993. Anybody tell you that bedtime story, wise ass? Yeah, a lot of shit happened before you got here, my friend, trust me. Now, once you go in the kitchen, grab me a Lunchable and shut the fuck up. Take your weird-ass friends with you. I don't like his friends. He's got a weak fucking crew. We could roll his crew in like 2 seconds. Take the whole block if we want it. His best friend is probably the weirdest human being that I have ever met in my life. It's his next door neighbor, and his name's Larry. Who the fuck names a little kid Larry? In the last 15 years. I was ready to call the cops on these people. You named them Larry? And this is how weird Larry is, all right? Larry's 6 years old. And for some reason, he wears transition lenses in his glasses. See, now I'm not the asshole anymore, am I? And if you don't know what transition lenses are, they're regular glasses when you're inside, but then when Super Creepo Larry steps into the sunlight... Like, have you ever seen a little kid that looks like he's a pedophile? That's little Larry. The first time I met the guy, he asked me to see my belly button. I was like, what the fuck? See my belly button? I was like, Larry, go home and play with your dad's gun. Get away from me. Dude, I couldn't sleep for a week. I just pictured Larry standing over top me like, let's see that belly button, fat boy. I've been faking heart attacks around my apartment just to test my girlfriend's response time. Madison, I haven't made it once. Yeah, I'm 0 for 16 on the Widowmakers at the Foley household. I asked my girlfriend the other day, I was like, what would you do if I suddenly died? She's like, I don't know, probably sleep in the middle of the bed. Like, okay, I was hoping for lifelong celibacy, but all right. I guess I'll cancel the trip to Fort Lauderdale next weekend. I am in a serious relationship. I live with my girlfriend. She's real. Yeah, we fight a lot. We do. We fight. But I think that's healthy. Don't listen to psychologists or your family or friends. Fighting's a part of the relationship. Like, to really be in love, you gotta hate the motherfucker just a little bit. You really do. That's what keeps you coming back. Like, you're just gonna do things that drive each other crazy. Like, something my girlfriend does that I can't stand is she talks during movies. And something I do that my girlfriend can't stand is I pee on the floor a lot. I'm gonna say that again. I pee on the floor a lot. Like, I do it a lot of times, and when I do it, a lot of pee comes out. Like, I pee on the floor a lot. And the one thing about peeing... Hold on. I'm 47, all right? And young guys, don't let the old guys get in your head. Don't listen to that bullshit. Oh, you better enjoy it now. When you get older, it stinks. It's not. It's actually pretty awesome. Like, do you know what the best part about being a 47-year-old man is? It's the peeing. The best pees of your life are in your 40s, fellas. I'm telling you, like, you know they say women reach sexual maturity in their 30s? Men reach peeing maturity in their 40s. That's as good as it's ever gonna get again. Now, the having to pee, that's brutal. In your 20s and 30s, it's like, oh, I gotta pee. In your 40s, it's, I gotta pee! And you barely make it to the toilet, you barely get your pants undone. But then you get this nice, thick, powerful stream. Ooh. That literally feels like 2 weeks vacation. You feel like you're dipping your toes into the sands of the Bahamas, just like, ah. And it's going everywhere, but you don't give a fuck. And every once in a while, you get this magic fart that comes out halfway through. Ooh. Remember when your dad did that shit when you were a kid? You were like, oh my God, is he a Jedi? How did he do that? Best piece of your life, I'm telling you. It's almost as good, and I say almost as good, as jerking off when you have a fever. No, Madison, we don't know about this? Fellas, do yourselves a favor. The next time you got a real high fever, like I'm talking 104, 105, right before you go to the emergency room, just knock one out real quick. I'm telling you, it's like getting free Molly. Dude, you feel like you're coming out of a warehouse at 7 a.m. like, God damn, that DJ was all right. But yeah, me and my girlfriend, we fight. We fight. And I'm okay with that. I just wasn't ready for what we were going to fight about. The things that couples fight about on a daily basis, it blows my mind. Like when I was a little kid, if somebody would have came up to me in class and been like, Henry, listen, I have great news for you. In 20 years, you're going to meet the love of your life. You're going to move in with her. You're going to build a life with her. And then on some random Wednesday night, you're going to be in a full-scale death match with her over how many paper towels you use. I would have hung myself on the ropes in gym class. That's what I'm getting yelled at for as a grown man, how I clean up Greek yogurt. That's what I'm taking heat for. Because my girlfriend can take a regular square of a paper towel and she can clean Afghanistan with it. I use paper towels the way a baby gorilla would use paper towels. Me and my girlfriend have been traveling a lot together lately. We've been together 7 years. And I've noticed there's a huge difference between traveling in the beginning of a relationship as opposed to, say, 7 years in. In the beginning, it's fun, it's adventurous, it's exciting. We're going to go away together. We're going to have such a great time. And after 7 years, all a vacation becomes is, yo, let's go fight in another country. Yeah, let's get an away game under our belt. Take this freak show on the road, baby. There's always a fight. There's always a fight, man. I'm telling you. There's an eye roll at security gate. You know, there's a little tension at the baggage carousel. It's almost like my girlfriend woke up one morning and was like, you know, I've never been in an argument in Boston before. Oh my God, Hank, what do you say we go up to the Paul Revere house and we embarrass ourselves like two complete animals over who lost the hotel room key? That'll be a fun weekend, right? That's a good way to put $1,200 on the Capital One card. What do you say, Hank? Let's go. We got into a fight at the Eiffel Tower. Lowest point in our relationship. Neither one of us had ever been to France, never been to Paris. Everyone's up there looking out of this beautiful city, and me and her are up against the wall doing the quiet fight. You ever try to do some slick shit and do the quiet fight? Yeah, you feel like a baseball manager pulling the pitcher off the mound. Just like, yeah, let's not do this right now. No, come on, don't do this here. I'm telling you right now, don't do this here. You do this here, I'm going back to the hotel. I'm getting my shit and getting the next fucking plane. Do not do this here. You're the one who wanted to come here. I wanted to go to Fort Lauderdale. Do not do this here. There was an old Norwegian guy that just turned his binoculars to watch us fight. Yeah, the fat one's getting yelled at. This should be good. And I didn't mean to throw the Capital One card thing in your guys' faces. I apologize. Yeah, I have a Capital One card. Let's not make a big deal about it, all right? Stop. We're just like regular people. We really are. Our credit score is just a lot lower. That's really the only difference. Because Capital One is the shittiest credit card ever invented. It's the only credit card I've ever had that emails me 15 times a day to refer a friend. They're real thirsty over there at Capital One. Other credit card companies don't do that. American Express is never going to call you up in the middle of the night and be like, "Psst, hey, you know anybody? You seem like a real smart guy over there. How would you like to pay your rent and gift cards this month? Give me a call back. I'm at a payphone." What the fuck? I know I'm not going anywhere, though. I know I'm locked in with this relationship. I'm hanging on to her like grim death. I figured this out a couple weeks ago because she was away and I was home by myself, and I hate being by myself, man. And I did something that I've never done that everybody told me that I had to do. I took myself out on a date. You ever done that? Just taking yourself out to dinner? Never did it. All my friends are like, "Oh my God, you got to do it. It's such a rewarding experience. You get to connect with yourself. You get to spend time with yourself. It's a really, really healthy experience." And I got to be honest with you, I never felt like a bigger fucking loser in my life. Like, I don't know what it feels like to be married, but I got a pretty good idea what it feels like to be divorced. Just a fat guy sitting at a Greek restaurant with a whole Bronzino in front of him. The server kept coming up to me like, "Are you waiting on somebody, buddy?" I've spent a lot of time with my mom lately. I don't know if you guys are concerned with your parents at this point in your lives, but I really feel like we got to start letting that generation go a little bit. We do. They're checked out. They really are. They're checked the fuck out. Like, you know, most of our parents are on weed now, right? Yeah, once the edibles became acceptable, they really leaned into that shit. You know, but what about a chubby 16-year-old Hank Foley getting grounded for 2 weeks for a nickel bag of stems and seeds? What about that? Huh? All of a sudden it's cool because you got rheumatoid arthritis? Is that the game we're playing here? Like, I have aunts that have never touched drugs in their lives, and now they're popping gummy bears left and fucking right. And they're like, "Oh, it's just a little CBD." Then I look at the bottle, I'm like, "That's fentanyl. What are you doing?" My dad, I tried with my dad. I used to try to talk to my dad about current events to try to like bring him back down to reality. Remember one day I was talking to him and I was like, "Dad, did you see they just discovered another new planet outside of our solar system?" His response was, "You ever have those Tostito scoops?" The what? The scoops, the little mini taco bowl. Have you seen these things? The thing's indestructible, I'm telling you right now. I get the chicken, the cheese, the sour cream, it won't break. I don't know who's making it. Maybe Elon Musk? I don't know who's involved. Could be that Jeff Bezos, I don't know. My mom's favorite thing to do at this point in her life is to tell me who died. That is my mother's #1 favorite pastime. She's like the town crier of death. She likes to go out to the back porch, light up a Marlboro light, and hop on the phone and be like, "You're not gonna believe this." And the death is never enough for my mother. She always has to put more drama on the story. My mom likes to add a timestamp to the story. No matter what time of the year the person died, she has to pin the death to the closest holiday. The other day I was talking to her, and she's like, "I still can't believe that Mary Pat McMenamin died 4 days after Flag Day." Yeah, and poor John Rogers, he died 2 months before Christmas. Mom, that's October. What are you talking about? She'll also never say the name of the disease out loud. My mother would never openly be like, "It was cancer, they had cancer." It's always whispered, "It was cancer." It was cancer. Like she's worried mesothelioma is gonna hear her talking shit and jump out from behind the couch like, "What'd you say?" I've always been very close with my parents, though. I'm very lucky. I remember when I first started doing comedy and I moved to New York, and I was like 38 years old. I was waiting tables, and I got fired from the job. And I got fired for a pretty good reason. I got fired for eating off people's plates. Relax, I wasn't before the meal. I'm not an animal. I didn't walk into some lady, take a hamburger, take a bite, and then just back away slowly. But I had just moved to the city. I had no money. So I called my parents up, and I'm like, guys, listen, I'm sorry. I got fired, but if you could, I'm going to need help with the rent this month. And I'm Irish Catholic. So in my mother's eyes, no matter what I do, I'm still her baby, and she couldn't let it go. She was like, what? Who would fire you? You're such a good boy. Well, I would never fire you. What happened? You tell me right now what happened. I'm going to send these people an email. This is ridiculous. And I was like, Mom, I was eating off people's plates. Just a long pause on the phone. And then she just goes, you're disgusting. I would fire you too. What is wrong with you? But my dad, this is why I loved my dad. All my dad wanted to know is, what were you eating? What was in front of you that you couldn't contain yourself like a human being? And the only thing that saved me is my dad loved seafood. He was a huge seafood guy. So the most expensive thing I thought to tell him was scallops. It was actually a mozzarella stick. If you know. But I was like, scallops, Dad. They call me eating scallops. And he wanted to get so mad on the phone, but he was just like, scallops, shit, they're market price. You did the right thing. You're a good kid. I'll cut you the check. So I can't complain, man. I can't complain. I've been very lucky. And I didn't start doing comedy until my 30s. Before that, I was really into, not web design, what's it called? Cocaine. Sorry, I couldn't think of it. Love this stuff. And I remember when I had to like come clean with my parents about my addiction. I had to let them know what was going on. And it was at a time in my life where my friends that knew were starting to become very concerned about my behavior. And they were all growing up. They were starting families. They were buying houses. They had careers. And they would always call me up and they'd be like, dude, you got to knock it off with the drugs. You don't need the drugs. Put the drugs away. But then something big would happen, like a wedding or New Year's Eve. Then they would call me up and they'd be like, yo, get drugs for the wedding. Yeah, we're fucking partying this weekend. But that's so hypocritical because when I show up to my uncle's funeral on ketamine, all of a sudden I'm the fucking scumbag. You know what I mean? And I was surprised that my friends still wanted me to get drugs for the big event because I had an immaculate record of getting the drugs the night before the big event and then taking all the drugs by myself the night before the big event. Like, you have no idea how many New Year's Eve parties I have just ruined by rolling in at 12:30 at night with a bloody nose trying to act like I couldn't get a hold of the guy. And then being like, what do you guys say we just get a good night's sleep, huh? Hit the parade in the morning? Anybody tired? We'll stretch it out, have a little bagel, it'll be nice. But we had this wedding, and they wanted me to get coke for the wedding. So I call my dealer, I get the cocaine, and all I got to do is ride it out for 12 hours. I get up, I hop on a train, head out to the burbs, have a great day with my friends. About 20 minutes later, I was knee-deep into the second bag. Yeah, and I do the coke all night, and then when I wake up in the morning, when I stop jerking off around noon, I call my coke dealer, I get a bunch more coke, I rush over to the train station, I hop on the train, and I'm pouring sweat. I got about $500 worth of coke in me, I got about $500 worth of coke on me, and the gravity of the situation just sinks in, and I have a massive panic attack, and I pass out. And when I pass out, I piss in my pants. And when I come to, I'm laying in the aisle, there's 7 people standing around me, and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to jail, there's no way out of this. And the only thing that saved me is one of the ladies that was there was a registered nurse. And she saw how fat I was. And she's like, you know, you might have diabetes. To which I responded, that's it, I got diabetes. Lady, you're good, I'm telling you right now. Because I'm the fucking diabetes kid. Type 9, you believe that shit? I got no toes. But this is where she messed me up. She's like, we have to even out your blood sugar, otherwise we gotta call the paramedics. And she pulls a donut out of her bag. plain cake donut. She couldn't get me a sprinkle or a Boston cream. Because I don't know if anybody in here has ever done cocaine. The last thing you want to do is eat. When you're all coked up, all you want to do is watch lesbian porn and stick fingers up your butt. That might just be me, but you get what I'm trying to say. And then we go and pull up to the train station, and I start feeling really sick to my stomach, all right? And I go into the bathroom, and I try to throw up. But my dirtbag coke dealer used to cut the cocaine with baby laxative. So when I tried to throw up, I shit in my pants. All right, the wedding's in like 2 hours, just so you guys know. And the only thing I had brought with me, because I'm an adult, was a full tuxedo and a Hannah Montana beach towel that I had stolen from a pool party 2 weeks earlier, got caught, and was demanded that I bring the towel back to the young girl whose towel I stole it from. So I throw my pants out, I wrap the towel around me, and I'm walking out the door, and I call my buddy who was supposed to be there picking me up, and I'm like, dude, where are you? I got to get out of here right now. And he's like, Foley, man, I'm sorry. Your mom wanted to surprise you. She's picking you up. Yeah, I got Patty waiting for me out in the Jeep Cherokee. And now, like I said, people were starting to have concerns about me at this time. My parents knew something was up. They just didn't know exactly what it was. But my mom sees me coming out of this train station. I got the towel wrapped around me. I'm missing a flip-flop. I got olive oil in my hair. I'm chain smoking a heater. And I get in the car, and she looks at me, and she starts crying, and she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And at a certain point with addiction, you just get tired of lying. You just hit rock bottom. So I just looked my mom in the eyes, and I was like, Mom, I think I have diabetes. Madison, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you, gang. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh boy, Henry, that sure was great.
Whatever.
Guys, I'm up next, live from Philly. Shout out to Fillmore. Hope you like it. Love yous. Philly, what the fuck is up? Holy shit, thank you. Thank you for coming out. This is awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Feel like I made it weird already. Cool, all right? The fuck? Just kind of my vibes today. Thanks for coming out. Bit hungover, I gotta tell you. I realize I have a drinking problem. I got a bad drinking problem that I need to take care of. All right, relax, sir. Here's my thing. I realize I have a problem. I just haven't done anything about it. This is what happened. I had a bit of an epiphany. It was 2 Friday nights ago. I was at a bar. I was drinking by myself. It was like midnight. I had 8 beers in me. Nothing crazy. Just chilling, you know? I go outside to smoke a cigarette because I'm an adult. I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do when I'm partying. And I get outside, and across from me is a 24-hour gym, which is the last thing you want to see when you're out drinking and smoking by yourself. It's floor-to-ceiling windows, a row of treadmills facing out, and just 12 hot jack dudes just fucking crushing it. And I'm at the window like, ugh. And I emotionally collapse on myself. I'm like, dude, you're the biggest piece of shit. You got to get your act together. You're always out here smoking and drinking. Be like these guys. These guys are better in their lives. And I go, you know what? Hold on. Fuck these dudes. It's Friday night at midnight. Go live a life, you fucking lunatics. Then I realized it was Wednesday night. I'm like, oh, fuck, I got a problem. This is way worse than I thought it was. I should probably talk to somebody. My drinking's getting me fat, too. It is. Over the past 2 years, I put on 30 pounds from drinking. And it's because I was drinking IPAs for a very long time. And be careful. If you're out there drinking IPAs, be careful. I did the research. There's up to 350 calories in an IPA. That's the equivalent of 1 bologna sandwich. That's crazy. That means I go to the bar on the weekend and eat 13 bologna sandwiches. And then I walk out at 3 a.m. like, who wants pizza, huh? I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving. Trying to stay healthy, man. It's tough because there's an uptick in COVID right now. And we travel around the country and you see more and more people wearing masks. You see them on a plane or at an airport or at a show. And I don't judge. I don't care. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. I try to come with compassion. I go, you know what? That was a crazy couple of years for everybody. I don't know this person's life. Maybe they have a pre-existing condition. Maybe they spend a lot of time with their elderly grandparents. I don't know, and quite frankly, I don't give a fuck. But recently I was on a plane and the guy I was supposed to be sitting next to wasn't wearing a mask. And then I sat down and he fucking put on a mask. And I'm like, I'll spit in your fucking mouth right now, dude. That is the most disrespectful shit I've ever seen. He took one look at me, he's like, I don't know what he has, but I don't fucking want it. And the crazy thing is, I got home that night and found out I did have COVID. I was like, damn, you're good, dude. You smelt that shit on me, goddamn. I got married right before COVID. I got married. I just celebrated 3 years of being married. She's not here, it doesn't matter, I don't care. She's great. I realize I'm a jealous husband, though. I'm a very jealous husband. Any other dudes jealous? Yeah, one guy just went, I am, sir, yes. Don't even look at her, dude. I found out why I'm jealous. I'm jealous because my wife is significantly more attractive than I am. I landed myself a hot lady, and dudes hit on her when she's by herself. She'll be at the store, a dude will hit on her, and that's not what bothers me. I'm so fucked up in my head. What bothers me is she gets hit on, and then comes home and tells me how nice this guy was she just met. And I can't let that slide. I'm like, babe, he was trying to fuck you. She's like, nuh-uh, some people are just nice. I'm like, no, they're not. She goes, well, we just choose to see the world differently or some fucking hot girl shit. I'm like, this is the real world, sweetheart. I'm in the trenches of this motherfucker, okay? This isn't even a joke. Last week, she came home and was like, hey, listen, I'm taking the dog to the park. This guy wants to take pictures of me and the dog in the park. I'm like, yeah, well, we're not fucking doing that. And she's like, why not? I'm like, babe, because he's trying to fuck you. She's like, nuh-uh, how do you know? I go, I don't know. I've walked that dog every day. No one's ever stopped to take my fucking pictures. No one's ever been like, hey, Kevin, go throw one on a tube top and meet me in the park, you know? It's never happened once. So I lost my shit. I'm not proud of how I acted. I lost my shit. I got anger problems. We're standing in our living room, and we're screaming at each other like a manager and an umpire. I'm like kicking dirt on her. I'm like, you're not fucking going. She's like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm like, oh, I'm telling you what to do. She's like, I'm a grown woman. I make my own decisions. I'm going to the park. I said, you know what, babe? You're right. You are a grown woman. You make your own decisions. You go to the park. But also, I'm a grown man, and I kind of just decided I want to go to the park right now, too. That's crazy. We're both going to be at the park at the same time, and I'm furious. This is insane. What are the chances? She's like, you better not cause a scene. I'm like, I'm causing the biggest fucking scene you've ever seen. Everyone's going to be mad I came to the park today. The squirrels are going to be upset that I showed up. That's how big of a scene I'm causing when we get to the park. So it's a 2-block walk to the park. I'm seeing red. I'm like, I got to fight this guy. This is crazy. And I go, hold on. Maybe my anger is, I'm getting ahead of myself here. And I go, maybe he doesn't know you're in a relationship. I go, babe, hold on a second. Before I go nuts, I go, did you tell him you were married? And she goes, I did. And I go, this motherfucker still invited you? I have to hit him with a rock. This is nuts. So we get to the park, and I'm mean mugging every dude in the park. I'm like, who's trying to fuck my wife? This is crazy. And then I see a guy with a camera around his neck, and he's waving, and he is the gayest dude in the world. And I was like, damn, I got so mad, I forgot gay guys existed for a minute. Once I saw he was gay, I was like, babe, take your top off, show him the goods. Start an OnlyFans out here. Start pulling your weight in this fucking relationship. She's great, she's just very forgetful. That's my one pet peeve I have with her. And I don't care when she forgets something that only affects her, but when she forgets something that affects me, I get furious. She forgets her ID every time we go to the bar, without fail. She forgets her ID. We walked into a bar recently. I was like, hey man, let me get 2 beers. He's like, let me see some ID. It's like, dude, first of all, I'm 37. I got the hairline. Just give me the fucking beers, you know? And then my wife goes, oh my God, I forgot my ID. And he's like, well, I can't serve her, but I can serve you. What do you want? I'm like, dude, this is my wife. I'll vouch for her. We're both 37. Just give us 2 beers. And he gets all serious. He goes, I got a job to do, man. Like he's a fucking state trooper all of a sudden. He goes, what if she's 18? What if she's in college? I'm like, okay, I'll live in my fucking fantasy world with you for a minute. Take a trip down my browser history, if you will. But if she was 18 and in college, she wouldn't be dating me. And he goes, ooh, good point. 2 beers coming right up. And I'm over carding. I am. You probably got carded tonight. I get that. This is a performance venue. That makes sense. But it's like, if you're in the audience and you work at like an Irish pub or a sports bar and you're a bartender, stop carding people. It doesn't matter. What's the worst that's going to happen? Somebody gets a beer that shouldn't have a beer? The world's crumbling around us, and that's where we're putting our foot down every day? And people have come up to me after shows and go, that's irresponsible. What if a 16-year-old kid comes in, but he looks like he's 30? It's like, that's the kid that needs a fucking drink. Like, that kid's seen some shit, you know what I mean? He's got city miles on him, that fucking kid. Make it a double, put it on my tab. What are we doing here? Do we have any kids that are 21 in here? Early 20s? Yeah, what are you, bro? 22. Nice. Who are you here with? Your girlfriend. Nice. This is going to get weird for a sec, but... I feel like handjobs catch a really bad rap in your early 20s. They do, right? Let's just say you leave here. I'm sorry to bring your girlfriend into my filth, but you seem like a nice lady. But let's say you give him a hand job on the Uber home or whatever, you know what I mean? And then your buddy calls you in the morning. He's like, dude, what'd you do last night? You're like, I went to the comedy show, and on the way home, me and Tracy, we were drunk. She ended up giving me a hand job in the Uber. It was the hottest shit ever. Your boy would be like, damn, dude, what a sick 22-year-old night. Congratulations. That's better than nothing. Sarah, how old are you? 49, yeah, okay. If you got a hand job tonight and called your buddy in the morning, he'd be like, what are you doing? Go to work, motherfucker. Like, we got bills to pay, dude. I don't give a fuck about your hand job stories. But I don't get it because dudes love hand jobs. We do. We just position in our head wrong. I'm 37 years old. I've been giving myself a hand job every day for 22 fucking years. Haven't missed a shift, overnights, weekends. Whatever you need, I'm your guy, you know what I mean? I'll join the union if I have to, I don't care. I'll be a foreman in like 2 weeks, you know what I mean? So it's not the hand job we don't like, it's the hand. Bear with me. This is my theory. Because for the past 22 years, I'm used to my man hand. I used to work construction and shit, and then a girl will come over with her dainty, little manicured hand, and it's like, you gotta fucking... You gotta grip it and rip it, sweetheart, let's go! I need a fucking meat hook down here, let's do this! That's why I make my wife shovel the sidewalk in the winter. Put on a fake mustache, do something for me, you know? Trying to get the job done over here. I told my friends I got a hand job one time and they all made fun of me. They were like, hand job? Pfft. What are you, 11? It's like, first of all, what 11-year-olds are getting fucking hand jobs? That's a school I want to go to. Not now, then. I want to go then. Be weird if I showed up on the playground like, Billy, Timmy, where are you going, you know? I don't know why I made them two boys' names, but that's what happened. There's a large trend in pornography over the past couple of years. That guy started clapping. He's like, finally! This guy's up there talking about his wife. Let's finally got to the good stuff. Over the past couple of years, it's primarily one category. Do you want to volunteer what it is, gentlemen that clapped? Stepmom, yeah. It's a little deeper than that. It's stepbrother, stepsister porn, yeah. This is where the women's faces are disgusted at this. Women are always like, is it naughty nurses? It's like, we're fucking way past naughty nurses. We're fucking our stepsisters. That's what we're doing. And it's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. But it's also like, hey, I'm a progressive guy. It's 2024. Do whatever you want. I don't care. My whole thing is just label it. That's all I ask. Just label it and put it in your weird corner of the internet so I don't stumble upon it and find this weird incest storyline unfolding on me, you know? Because I'm old school. Just give me a plumber who's like, what the fuck happened to my pants or whatever, you know? I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy. What can I say? Call me old-fashioned, I guess. So recently my wife's like, hey, I'm going out for a couple hours. I'm like, okay, honey, you have a good time fucking a guy in a park or whatever. And I'm like, this is perfect time for me to watch a movie. It was a 2-minute movie, a short film, if you will. Kind of a connoisseur, you know? And the two people in the movie were Russian, right? And it started off close up on the guy, and he goes, I want to make a sex with you. And she goes, but you're my step-a-brooder. And I'm like, why the fuck's he asking her in English? You know what I mean? Like, this lunatic is not only trying to hook up with his stepsister, he's doing it in a second fucking language. That's a level of confidence and swag I could never have. I don't even have a stepsister, but if I did, I sure as shit wouldn't go up to her like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Me gusta make sex with you, you know? Oh, you just get drunk at Christmas and hope for the best, you know? Like a goddamn American. I am happy I'm married though, because the younger generation, the kids in their 20s, not those kind of kids. The kids in their 20s have made a lot of progression sexually. Right now, everything's now non-binary. Gender and sexuality is more fluid. It's on a spectrum. When I was single in my 20s, that wasn't the case. It was more black and white. The only overlap I had of this is I was drunk at a bar. I was 30, and I was talking to this girl who's 21. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, I think she's giving me the vibes. I think I have a shot. So I started hitting on her, and she goes, I'm a lesbian. I'm like, all right, misread that. That's on me. Whatever. So we're hanging out. At the end of the night, she comes up. She goes, listen, I'm going to shoot you straight. I'm a lesbian. I just got out of a 4-year relationship with a girl. I just need a really good dick right now. And I was like, I am not your guy. You got a stepbrother you can call here? They're pretty good. Are you Russian by any chance? It's been a rough, I have personally had a bit of a rough year. My car got stolen over the summer, which fucking sucked. Thanks. Yeah, it was a Kia. I should tell everybody that. It was a Kia. If you're not familiar, there's a defect in Kias where it takes 5 seconds, a USB charger, and a third grader, and they steal your car. It's crazy. And it's so popular, there's now a TikTok trend called #KiaBoys, where they film themselves stealing your car, and no one gives a fuck. The cops just watch the videos like, damn, these kids are crazy. Like, no one cares, right? So I went to go get my car. I hadn't driven in a couple days in New York, and I go to get it, and I get there, and it's not there. And I'm such a dirtbag. My first instinct was like, oh shit, I owe like $900 in parking tickets. They towed my car. And then I saw the broken glass from the window, and I'm like, I don't think the tow truck driver was like, pay your bills, pussy, you know, and like, fuck it. So I'm like, all right, they got me. The boys caught me slipping. The Kia boys got me, you know. Even the best have bad days, you know what I mean? So I call the cops come, and this guy cared too much, right? He pulls up, and I know Philly has it. The cop cars have cameras on the back of their car where they drive around and take pictures of every parked car's license plate, and it goes into a database. So if they ever need to know where it was, they can be like, oh, it was on Fish Street 2 weeks ago, and start from there. I gave him my license plate number, and he goes, holy shit! This just pinged less than an hour ago under the George Washington Bridge. I'm like, all right. He's like, get in. I was like, what? Fuck you just say to me, dude? He's like, get in, and opens the back door. So there's two of them in the front. I get in the back seat of the cop car, and we immediately hit, 125 miles an hour. We're blowing red lights. He's got the sirens, and I've never been a big cop guy, but I was in the back like, dude, I'm joining the fucking force tonight. This is the sickest shit I've ever been a part of. I was practicing my moves. I was like, NYPD, motherfuckers, like. So we get under the George Washington Bridge, and he's like, it should be right around here. And I go, holy shit, it's fucking right there. It's right where you said it was going to be. I go, there it is. And as we get closer, we realize all 4 windows are smashed out, and there's 4 guys smoking crack in my car. Curveball. So two of the guys smoking crack see us coming. They jump out. They take off running up the highway into oncoming traffic, full crack speed like it was in Tron, dude. They were just like, fuck. The other 2 guys couldn't have been bothered that we showed up. They looked at us like, oh, cool, more people to smoke crack with. Like, they were just chilling. So the cops go into full cop mode. They jump out, guns drawn, like, get out of the car, let me see your hands, get out of the car, let me see your hands. Now I'm in the back seat, I don't know, shitting myself, I think is the clinical term. So they rip them out, they throw them on the hood of the car, they cuff them, and now I start doing the math. I'm like, oh shit, the only place to put them is in the fucking back seat with me. I didn't know what to do. I was just gonna act like one of them, like, they caught you too, huh? Kia boys for life, dog. We gotta stick together, man. Shout out to the Kia boys, baby. Growing up, my parents got divorced. I was a very young age, and the only memory I have of my parents together is them sitting me down and telling me they were getting a divorce. Which is like, you gotta hold on to the memories you do have. And my mom was a single mom for a long time. And money would get tight. We were never poor, but money would get tight for sure. And I remember one time, I was like 7. She was on the phone with my aunt. I was eavesdropping. She didn't know I could hear. And she's like, hey, listen, we gotta cancel the family vacation this year. I just don't have the money to pay for it. Me being 7, I heard that. I'm like, dude, you gotta fucking man up. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta provide for this family, So I march upstairs. I got my footy pajamas on. I get my piggy bank with $32 in it. And I look in the mirror. I'm like, motherfucker, we're going to Disney World. I march downstairs, I open it up, I dump it out on the kitchen counter, I go, Mom, I want you to have this. And she took the fucking money. I was like, you bitch. That was just a gesture. I worked for my family too. Working for family's tough, because you never know, the hardest part is knowing when and how to quit if you work for your family. Getting the job's easy, you're just like high on the couch and they're like, start unloading boxes or whatever. But trying to quit's tough, because if you worked at a regular job, you can just march in your boss's office and be like, hey, fuck you, I quit, and like kick over his plant or whatever it is and just leave, that's it, you're done. Never have to see that guy again. I can't march into my dad's office and be like, hey, Dad, suck my dick. And then go back to my dad's house. And be like, hey, if you need me, I'll be on the couch, The second worst job I ever worked was I worked at Macy's, the department store. Anybody work retail? Yeah, where'd you work? Sears, nice. Where at? You worked at Sears in Wilmington, Delaware. That's the front lines of retail, dude. Thank you for your service. I appreciate that. God damn. You still do it? No. Did you ever catch anybody stealing at Sears? Always. What'd you do? What did you do when you caught them stealing? Just let him go. Yeah, this is an American hero right here. Clap it up for this guy. Who cares? It's not your fucking lawnmower or whatever. I worked at Macy's. I let everybody steal fucking everything at Macy's. It was wide open in the men's department when I was there. I used to let people return shit we didn't even sell. That's how little I cared. I'm like, what do you got, rollerblades? Take them off. Give them here. I'll give you store credit for them. The height of me not giving a shit at Macy's, though, was this homeless guy came in. He was getting ready to steal because he kept looking at me and looking at the cameras and looking at me and looking at the cameras. And I'm trying to give him the eyes like, dude, I don't give a fuck, Like, take your time, try it on. I don't care. I'll workshop the outfit with you if you want me to. But he's not picking up on my vibe, so I just let him wander around. Finally, he comes up to my cash register with one pair of socks. That's all he has. After like 5 minutes of wandering around, he comes up with one pair of dress socks and goes, that's all. I go, all right. And I go to ring him up. I'm like, that'll be $6.99 or whatever. He reaches in his pocket and pulls out one loose credit card. That's it. No wallet, just a loose credit card out of a pair of sweatpants. And he goes to swipe it. I'm like, all right, man, let's see what fucking happens here, Just like, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. In a lot of retail places, when you swipe your card, your name comes up on our screen. When he swiped his card, his name came up as Deborah O'Hallahan. Now, I don't want to assume his gender, but he wasn't Deborah O'Hallahan. That's when I went, okay, clearly this is a stolen card. He's trying to make the smallest purchase we have, one pair of socks, to see if it works so he can go somewhere else and make a bigger purchase. Also, ironically, I don't know if you guys know this about me, I don't work for Visa, not my fucking problem. You have a nice day. Enjoy Maui or wherever it is you land, you know? So he takes 2 steps towards the door. I think I'm done with him. He takes 2 steps towards the door, stops, turns around, with Oscar award-winning performance, goes, holy shit, I completely forgot, I need $1,000 in gift cards. I was like, nicely played, Mrs. O'Hallahan, nicely played. Let's make it 2,000 to be safe, what do you say? It's nice to be home. It's nice to be home in Philly. This is fucking amazing. Thank you. It's great. We've traveled a lot. We've traveled a lot for comedy, and I got to perform in Europe not too long ago, and there should be a rule. When you get to a country you've never been to, when you get to customs, they should be like, hey, man, have you been here before? And if you say yeah, they should go, cool, enjoy your trip. If you say no, they should be like, yo, pop in this room, watch this 5-minute PowerPoint, because you might see some shit you're not fucking ready for. I went to England. I thought it was going to be like America. It's not. And that's on me because I'm an uncultured idiot, but I didn't know they really dressed their school kids up like Harry Potter. And then I was hungover on the subway, we pull up to a stop, and 37 fucking wizards got on the train. And I was like, yo, I'm about to fight these kids right now, you know what I mean? I didn't have a wand on me or anything. Damn TSA took my wand, you know? Thanks a lot, Bin Laden. Can't fly with a wand anymore, that's crazy. I got to go to Germany, too. I perform comedy in Germany. The Germans have a great sense of humor that nobody tells you about. They like talking shit with Americans in like a fun, ball-busty, like blue-collar, East Coast kind of way. It's always lighthearted. This one time I was at a bar, and these 4 German dudes found out I was American. They came up, and they were really going to fucking razz me. They were like, McDonald's. I was like, World War II, you know. Just a little lighthearted ribbon, you know what I mean? It's like not once, but twice. Now fucking kick rocks, will you? Don't make me get the boys back over here. The biggest culture shock I had, though, was I went to a country called the Czech Republic. I didn't even know it existed till I got there. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. I ended up getting a Thai massage from a man in the Czech Republic, which is a long way to go for that to happen. So I'm in the Czech Republic. I don't speak Czech. He's Thai. I don't speak Thai. He doesn't speak English. There's like 9 different language barriers that we're maneuvering in this conversation. And I asked for a back and a neck massage. Simple. I remember being at the front desk, like back and neck massage. But I guess somewhere in the Thai, Czech, English language barrier, that means work on the butt for 15 minutes? Because this guy acted like I didn't have a back or a neck. He treated me like I was just a butt. He came in, put one hand on each cheek, and just went to town. So for 15 minutes, I'm just humping the ground, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then he goes, okay, turn over. I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. For either one of us. Because we both might get something we're not looking for. Or I'm going to get something I'm looking for, and my dad was right this whole fucking time. All right, Philly, that's my time. Thank you so much.